I don't want to say I don't fit in because I don't know enough to know if I don't fit in or not. You get what I'm trying to say?
I want to do this the right way.
You got
to
to
start with Source Becomes Active. Tron. Welcome.
What's going on? What's going on?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. It's been a chill day for me, pretty quiet.
How was your weekend?
I've been working a lot, putting in a lot of double shifts, really.
What do you do for work?
Huh?
What do you do for work?
I'm doing self-employed jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to keep it just like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, self-employed, and I do got a full-time, but I go in whenever I feel like it, honestly.
Okay. So do you typically work remote for your full-time?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. I do too. Everything I generally do, I do.
That's the only way you can really keep stuff moving.
Nowadays?
Yeah, nowadays, it's through the internet, so I feel like remote is really the way to go.
No, definitely. I'm very thankful for being able to do just that, work here and on like a different time zone, so I can like start later in the day, and then honestly, if I don't have anything to do, I'm just waiting or creating something on my own,
Right.
creating my own work. But otherwise, I am generally just like chilling, especially if my manager's chilling. I'm not like,
Yeah, man, you a solid dude, bro.
no, you're a solid dude. I appreciate you hitting me up. So this is, I looked back and recalled, because I was like, I forget exactly what it was that, how like, you reached out to me.
I hit you up first?
On Instagram, I'm pretty sure, yeah. If I remember correctly. I looked back at the conversation now.
I probably did hit you up first. I don't know. I'm gonna check, but I probably did hit you up first.
Probably. I don't know. You were like, you wanted to start getting your music out, and I was like, start getting your music out. Like,
Yeah,
at the time I was assuming that this is something that every producer or music creative would just be putting their stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
But you weren't. And as you explain more and more why, I'm like, okay, my man's got it.
Dude, that was like that was a year ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. I didn't even put that together. And then you was telling me how you had a slot for me, but it was gonna be some months down the line. I completely forgot about it. But we did have a cool conversation, and I was just kind of like telling you, you was the first person I ever told that to.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
This is why we're here. If you feel comfortable answering or not answering any questions, I deeply encourage you to let me know. This is for you. I simply get the opportunity and the benefit of being able to, one, send you the record.
Mm-hmm.
So when this is all being recorded, I'm gonna post it on YouTube. When we get done here, I'll send you a copy of it likely in the next 2 days for you to use for whatever you want to use it for.
Okay, cool. I most definitely do that.
Most def. And so here we are. Are you from Georgia?
Yeah, from here, been here all my life, really.
What part?
As far as city-wise, I'm from Augusta.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I was born there. I wasn't really raised there. When I was young, we kind of moved to Atlanta, and we just been down here ever since.
Okay, wow. What so then you said you were born there, but you weren't raised. So when did you all move from Augusta up to Atlanta?
That was a while ago. I'm pretty sure I wasn't even over 5 years old.
Damn.
If I had to guess, so.
But
I remember most of what was going on down there. It wasn't nothing good, so.
Really?
Nah.
Augusta tore up?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know much. I'm not from here, so
No, Augusta most definitely the countryside.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but it's like a rough countryside.
Rough countryside.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
Trailer park energy. We was in trailer park when I was down there.
Okay.
I think that was by choice though, because when we moved up to Atlanta, we most definitely had a home.
Okay.
Like a big old house. We was like, yo, this is crazy because we came from trailer park.
You're saying we? Do you have siblings?
Yeah, siblings.
How many?
A few.
A few?
Yeah, I don't want to get too specific on like.
It's okay.
Yeah, everybody else,
Yeah, no, definitely.
I got a few siblings, and that was the game.
everybody came up along for the ride, chilling?
I think I was left first. If I know the story correctly, I think I didn't get to go with them first. I think I stayed back for a while, so which why I know a little bit more about Augusta. But then later on, stuff was happening, so my mom just came to pick me up and was like, "Nah, he coming over here with us."
Yeah, no, you gotta get out of there.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. It's always great when your parents recognize any situation in your environment that is not beneficial to your growth. My mom did a very similar thing when I was a teenager. People kept breaking into our house in Detroit, and so rather than like killing someone's child, she was like, "I'm just taking my kids all up."
Yeah. That was kind of the similar situation. I will put it like this: it was bullet holes in the front door.
Okay.
So that was like the last straw.
Damn. Rough.
Yeah, they was looking for somebody in the house specifically.
Damn.
Yeah, man, I remember that. So it was time to head out.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, it was some other stuff. But I'm glad I didn't grow up down there. Like I wasn't affiliated. I didn't know anybody. It was just really family all day.
I'm a little surprised because I would not have pegged Augusta. When I hear Augusta, Georgia, I don't think it's hot. You know what I'm saying?
From what I seen,
it's hot.
The neighborhood we was in when that happened, that ain't even a neighborhood no more.
Damn.
Yeah, you can search that neighborhood up. The first thing you're gonna see is crime. It ain't even like no sweet stuff over there.
Damn.
From what I remember. So,
gosh.
But I'm not really into that stuff. I just know I was around it when I was young.
Yeah. What are you into, man? You seem like you, not only on your website, you say for the down to earth artists, but you carry that energy too. You're pretty mellow. You know what you want. So where your interests lie?
Ah, man, I'm not even gonna try to create some facade of what I'm really into, because I don't want to say I don't fit in, because I don't know enough to know if I don't fit in or not. You get what I'm trying to say?
I like that answer a lot.
I don't know enough to know if I'm not able to fit in with other people. But from what I do know is I don't stand in with most people. Like, we'll get into that when you ask me about music, but my interests are not necessarily the same as most people I come across. Now I can merge into others' interests, but I'm really like I'm more interested in what haven't been discovered. So most of the time I find myself only creating new paths, and if it ain't new, then I'm gonna find a way to make it new.
Gotcha.
I don't necessarily want to do what's already been done, so I find myself always being the odd one out.
Interesting. So if you're not, say you're not necessarily creating them, but as you're searching for them, or just adventuring, journeying through life, are you also seeking them as well?
New experiences in music and
just in general as well. Yeah.
Probably, possibly. I'm probably always seeking out new things. I think one thing about me is I don't stay stern on something. If you even go through my page and my music, my videos, I never try to make them the same. I never try to make the same sound. I mean, it's nice knowing you got a style. Cool, you got a style. But I don't want to have a style. I just want to keep going and going and going, because like when it comes to music, there's no rules. Like nobody's over your shoulder telling you what should go.
Yeah.
You can make something nasty, you can make something beautiful, but it's really knowing how to not make something. Like when I think about music,
knowing how to not make something.
Being professional at not knowing how to do something. Like you listen to music, you go, oh, that's jazz hip hop. Oh, that's this type of hip hop. Oh, that's boom bap. You can categorize it, which means they know how to do it.
Yeah.
I come to music thinking like, I know how to make jazz, but I want to know how to not do music, because whatever that is strictly comes from who I am, my personality. Yeah, that's how you tap into your personality when you let go of criticism, because when you're making boom bap, you're criticizing if this fits in a boom bap genre. When you're making jazz, you're criticizing, nah, that's not jazzy, that's this, not that. But when I'm making music, it don't have a criticization. I'm just going. It's just whatever it is. Like what y'all hear me put out, it ain't a sample, but it ain't no strategically placed instrument, beats and stuff. It's literally just from the heart. That's all it ever been.
I like that. You're creating from the spirit, like from what's inside.
Yeah, and you don't want to take long. You don't want to take long doing it.
No.
When you're looking for a sound, you're probably doing too much. Just put a sound down. Just put something down. If your ears was able to listen to it, if you was able to hear the sound, then you should just be appreciative that you was able to hear that sound and try to work with it.
Yeah.
Most of the things people tend to really fall in love with new sounds and stuff that ain't really been tapped into. So I think that's one of the ways to do it.
Okay, so where does your introduction into music start, from what you remember?
I grew up in a music household.
Okay, what does that mean?
They were already in the studio. There was already mics. It was already, all that stuff was there. I don't want to say too much about my pops. Like I said, I don't want to go too much outside of me. But he was going to get signed as an actual artist. He met up with a lot of artists back in the day. He was doing tours, selling out shows. I mean, he told me all these stories that I didn't even know exist. He wasn't able to sign a record deal because he was in a partnership and they wanted his boy to be there to sign with him. But that didn't stop him from wanting to continue to do music. Then he had some sons, my brothers, and that was just the household. I didn't really get into it with the studio thing, but they'll come and have me come in there, show me something they're working on. I'm like 5, 6 years old. I couldn't really comprehend it. I saw one of my brothers playing the piano, and that was probably like 6 years old. That was probably it. I've been playing the piano ever since, ever since really.
So are you classically trained in piano?
You never
playing by ear, you taught yourself?
Everything.
Damn.
Never classically trained, nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. But as I'm getting older, I realize I'm glad I didn't do that. Music theory, it does exist. You know, whether you feel like you're creating, unique or non-unique music, you're still in a concept of music structure. Frequencies do coincide with other frequencies, so you're never really experimenting too far out of what music already is. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad I just experiment with trying to make nasty music. That's really all I was trying to do. Make some nasty music. That ain't gonna make it. But that's good though, cause you got a reaction out of them, you know. Yeah. So that's all really music is just getting a reaction out of somebody.
So I like your approach of that. You don't want to you don't want to know necessarily how to make music. You want it to stay from the inside. But yet you know how to play an instrument.
Exactly. You get what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're trying to say. Yeah. So that is literally, when your hands are going over keys, that's strictly coming from the heart. You know? Yeah. It's not like you're trying to plot out and plan. It's like, oh, I hear this goes well with that. Yeah. I'm going to put these two things together and keep building. You're like a cook who doesn't need a cookbook.
It don't have nothing. I'm just literally acting like I don't even know how to play the instrument.
Damn.
Yeah. But I know how to stay in tune. But I also know how to mess up. Like, you can mess up on the keyboard, and I know how to not fix that mistake. I let it sit, you know? That's just gonna be that one song with an error, but that could also be that one song with a perfectly good sounding mistake, because that's really what hit music is. You know, like,
you don't hear Bob Ross music, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you leaned over the keyboard, and now everybody is humming that noise. You know, that's really how it is. So I don't want to get into knowing how to make music. Mm-hmm. That's just, we all know how to do that. We all know what music sounds like, so we're already. You find somebody in the hip hop section because they listen to hip hop music. Right. But that's not to say that they won't listen to your stuff. You can literally pull people from anywhere to listen to your music because you ain't got a genre. You got something that's untapped, untouched. Yeah. So you don't know who the target audience is, you know? So.
I completely agree. That's actually why I like doing the battle progressively even more as the year came to an end. It was like the first two, I realized I'm like, okay, you know, a lot of the community was doing a lot of lo-fi hip hop, a lot of hip hop music. But then, you know, I started inviting you all out, and y'all, as you're participating and listening, I'm like, well, they're not just doing like hip hop music specifically. Everyone's touching the range. You're all hitting your own spectrums. Yeah. And in doing so, establishing your own styles. So it's hard to say that this was just hip hop. Sure, it had a beat, but just because it has a beat doesn't necessarily mean it's hip hop.
Yeah, everybody was really ranging out, man. I heard some wonky stuff.
Yeah.
It's inspirational though when it's wonky, man. It's inspirational when it ain't. So we know what music is, man. We know what classical music is. We know what jazz. We know what beatbox. We already know. So you either can be a jazz hip hop. You could pick a category, or you can just go, man. Forget this, man. I'm finna do some untapped stuff.
Hell yeah.
And that's just how it is. You pick a side, but
tap into yourself and make what you want to make. And everyone came with that. There were very clear like styles that one could compare. I realized that I'm like, it doesn't make sense to really do that because at the end of the day, they might play something 2 songs down or 4 fucking matches in or something that is completely left that round in that period. So for you, were there any, as you started making music, do you find yourself using a blueprint from anyone? Like any music that you grew up listening to, was hip hop strictly what you were around, or were you hitting the soul, the R&B, the jazz?
No,
you grew up in a black household.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I wasn't only hitting hip hop. Actually, the crazy part is hip hop came. I don't want to say too much. Hip hop came when I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
So I was listening to artists. I don't even want to say the artists I was listening to. To be real, but I was listening to a particular artist, and I heard a line from him, and I'm like real young, but the line was, I was at a state of consciousness. You know, when you're a kid, at some point you become more conscious of things.
More aware.
Yeah, you become more aware. I heard a verse, and I thought about rap completely different. Like, it wasn't just words anymore on the beat. So I slowly got into it, moved out. I got a little older. I'm like, this is something I got to tap into. So I started writing. I started writing music. Like, I wasn't making beats. I didn't know how to.
You were writing music?
Yeah. So before I was, making this type of music,
right?
I was strictly, I want to say soul music. I'm talking about, I mentioned these guys, Anthony Hamilton, D'Angelo.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like 11 years old, D'Angelo, John Legend,
okay,
Erykah Badu, that whole party, just all those fantastic singers.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to be a singer, but then I had to.
Oh, so you were writing songs.
I was writing songs.
Okay.
Yeah, I was writing music. Like, I knew how to play the piano by this time. I was fluid in the keys. I was trying to be a song singer, like, somebody shut that down real quick for me. But I got good vocals on me now. But at the time, I guess I didn't. But no, somebody shut that down for me real quick. And it wasn't like somebody shut it down and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to rap since I can't do this. It was not like that. I'm like, well, I kind of was like, whatever. I still like listen to music. I ain't got to tap in. But that rap hit me naturally. It hit me organically. I didn't even care for real. It just hit me organically, like hearing the art style. Mm-hmm. So I dove back. I went to all the greats I could find, whoever I could come across. Mm-hmm. Outkast, Jay-Z. I went back as far as I could. I found some guys who was least respected, but I respected them heavily. Big L. I know Big L had the respect.
Big L definitely had the respect.
He had the respect, but he didn't have the majority.
No, he didn't. He wasn't like mainstream. Mm-hmm. He was for a time, but that was between like him, Big Pun, a lot of artists in that era. There was a very clear path to what mainstream music wanted from hip hop. And
they didn't tap into that at all.
No.
And I love, man, I don't want to get too fanboyish, but I like Big Pun, Big L. It's this guy, Master Ace. A lot of people don't
Master Ace? Yo, let's fucking go, boy! Okay. Let's go! Let's put on my Master Ace!
Okay, cool.
I'm mad at him.
Yeah, that's probably, I'm disappointed in how people react to his music, but that storytelling ability is out of this world. So,
yes, it is.
I mean, I show people that who ain't even into rap, like, you need to think this is a movie right now, because this man needs his reward for this.
He does. Master Ace, literally, Master Ace would destroy someone in a battle too.
Oh, I know you heard
them.
I know you heard them disses he had.
Yes.
Oh yeah, man. What a lovely flow and style. He got some crazy creative music. It really is beautiful how he writes his music. I mean, I would encourage anybody to listen to those projects. I think Summer and Son of Yvonne, those are two good ones, especially the one after Summer. I think it's called Disposable or something like that. But yeah, a lot of J. Cole. A lot of J. Cole. But yeah, no, I got into it. I started writing. Them tight beats wasn't it. And I'm pretty sure most producers will say this to this day that, they start off trying to hit them tight beats.
Yeah.
I said, no, I had my laptop about this big. I'm talking about, it's a really teeny sucker, but I got the studio over there and I started working.
So you started working in FL Studio first, or was it
FL only?
FL only.
Nothing else.
FL.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm glad that you said you like Master Ace, because it just he has a song called Brooklyn Masala.
Oh my, yeah. And I swear that's a radio hit. I don't know if I ever heard that on the song when I was young, but I swear that was a radio hit.
I hope it was, because I remember growing up, like I was born in the mid-90s, and so, stuff that was rolling over from like the 90s to the 2000s, but I don't ever remember hearing it. But
like, the tune sound like a radio hit.
Exactly.
That's why I'm like, yo, have this ever hit mainstream? I look up the views on internet. I think it's got 1 million, but it don't look like it was a radio hit. But I swear it was, or or somebody ripped somebody off, because I know it sounds so familiar. But
yeah, that's I can appreciate that shit. He did was that him? I think it was him, Eminem, and someone else that did a song together.
You talking about when he first started up and it was like them popping songs? He was on the radio at some point.
I believe it. There was one. It might not have been Master Ace. Nah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All the same, you got solid fucking taste. I can tell that already.
Yeah, man.
So you hitting a number of different ranges within like the hip hop and kind of that like soul platform. You said you went all the way back, which means you was hitting homies from like the beginning of the history of hip hop.
Yeah, man. I had to figure out what it was. Because we wasn't listening to it.
We was listening to that Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5.
Yeah, I was listening to Guru.
There you go! Guru,
yeah,
Gangstar.
Yeah, Gangstar. Man, I used to spit that same. They say it's lonely at the top, but whatever you do. I mean, I could go on with that. I used to sit down and listen for hours. Yeah, man, that's some stuff like that.
I like that, man. Okay, so now back to I kind of want to roll it back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier when you initially reached out. You mentioned that you were shy about putting your workout. So I'm gonna dive in with this first question. Like, why were you shy about putting your workout? And then the other part of that is like, what helped you overcome that?
All right, man, this was conflicting. I even got a song on this that I posted, but you can't find it because it's private. Obviously, knowing me. I found when I started making music, it was to like rap on beats, and then when I started making beats, the appreciation of music completely changed for me. The process of making it, everything, my whole world changed. Like, it was just different. I got so attached to it. Like, you know how when you're in a relationship with something or someone, you don't want them to experience life. You want them entirely for yourself.
Nice.
That's how I was about my music. And it was like that for so long. I got so much stuff. I got a homie that he preaches how the stuff I have stashed up is some crazy stuff, but it took me a while. Like, how I felt about it, I didn't think people deserved to hear. I just didn't feel like people deserved to hear it, and that's how I felt.
Okay.
Internally, it was just like, you don't know how to listen to it. If you want to rap on it, you don't know how to rap on it. You know, because this ain't even just sounds no more. This is literally words turned into sounds. Like, you're listening to my beats, you're hearing me talk. So if you come on there talking different versus what I'm saying, that's like getting put on a feature, and this man's talking about this, and you coming here talking about this, it don't work. So I feel like if you coming on my music, you featuring it into my world, so you need to know how to listen to it appropriately, and you need to know how to rap on it appropriately. That's how I felt. That's truly how I felt. So I feel like nobody couldn't do that better than me. So it just turned into me just hoarding all these sounds over the years. Like, I'm talking about 8 years of just hoarding sounds, man.
Damn, dude.
I got 4,000. That's how much I counted. I don't know where it's at right now.
4,000?
It got to a point where I would make like 20 beats a day.
Damn.
Yeah, me and my homeboy used to do this challenge like 20 beats a day.
Damn.
Yeah, this one.
What?
Yeah, man, it was on some crazy stuff. But I just got the hoarding and all that stuff.
Dog, how do you make 20 beats a day?
Like I said, you don't criticize sound.
You just fucking you do it. You let it. How long were your beats out? Like on average? When you think about it.
I had to stop when I started making out. I used to make them a minute because I wanted to know how to make a quick hitter.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was playing too long with it, then I was gonna confuse myself out of what sound good or not. Because I'm just started, so I don't know what sound good. So I need to make a quick hits to see what I actually like. So I just make quick 1 minute. My homeboy's like, you gotta stop making 1 minute beats, bro. These things sounding good. I need them to go for longer. But I'm like, all right, cool. I just looped the 1 minute. It turned into this thing where I would take the keyboard and just play for 4 minutes straight. No tempo, no nothing. Just play and then put a beat on top of it, add some other stuff. So I just call it like live sessions, like just from scratch. That's what I started doing. That's how I was pushing 20 beats out a day. Just heard. I already had my template set up. I had every plug-in sound. I was using like up to 30 different tools to make sounds. But I wanted to keep the organicness going. I didn't want to ever have to stop and keep twisting and tweaking knobs. You can always do that when you finish.
Yeah.
So the trick is, I don't want to say too much, but you don't listen to what you're creating, because your expression ain't meant to be reviewed. Your expression is meant to always continue. You know what I'm saying? You don't backtrack how you feel. You just keep feeling. So when you making the music, You make it, you put it in the playlist, and you save it, and you go to you don't even listen to it, honestly. You just keep going. By the end of the day, you're going to have 30, 40 beats. And then you can go back and bitch. That's when you go back and listen to it. If you want to tweak, I personally don't agree with tweaking. Because that's some of your most authentic, raw self. Yeah. You can try to tweak it and get it close to where people would be satisfied, but just leave it alone, man. And then when it's time to mix, when it's time to master, then you do what you need to do. But that's how I did it. That's how I was able to push out like 20 beats a day.
So you were making all this music. You weren't putting any of it out. Why did you make the decision?
Oh, I didn't even answer that question.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But that was, so I'm bringing it back. Because, why? Like, why did you make the decision to start doing that?
I ain't gonna lie, it was a friend. So a lot of people didn't know about my music. But I had friends, I had like one or two. Because I'm mostly making music, so I'm not even talking. Like, if you ain't a friend of opportunity, I'm probably not gonna merge with you, like, spiritually, not any negative wise, but spiritually, I just need somebody who wants something. That's how I always thought. Yeah. I had a homeboy, and I'm the type to pull up on you. If you ain't got a studio set up or nothing, I'm the type to pull up on you and get you set up. Damn. Like, if you tell me you want to make music, I'm coming over to set everything up you need. Damn. Like, I give you my license. I'm coming to set up everything. I'm coming to get, that's how I am. That's how I feel about it. I feel like if you want to make music, then you should have the opportunity. It should be charged to you. Because music ain't nothing but expression. You shouldn't put a price on somebody else's expression, So I pull up with the stuff. I tell them everything they need. I pull up to one of my homeboy's house. I set them up, and in that thing, I showed him my music and stuff. I ain't never heard nobody talk about my music the way he did. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. Man made me feel like I was Kanye when I left his house that day. And it wasn't even like a facade. Shout out to my boy OG. It wasn't even like a phase. He said this for years, not to my face, but behind my back. He was always talking about how amazing to his friends. He told me his dad was listening to my playlist on YouTube that I kept private. He was like, yeah, my pops don't even know I know you. He just vibing to it in his car. I'm like, that's wild, OG. He moved a couple years later. I'm over this man's house. Mind you, I never met any of his other friends. It's really just me and him talking on some music stuff. And he's been the same for all the years I've known him. He keep, man, Tron Cat, your music, man, changed the world. You need to put your stuff. You sitting on some magic. He'd say everything you need to say to get somebody hyped. One of his homeboys come over. I never seen him in my life. And this is like 5 years of knowing OG. His brother go, yeah, he's sitting there smoking the black and mild, whatever. He don't know my name. And then OG go, yeah, man, Tron Cat, you really just need to put it out. His friend go, nigga, you Tron Cat? I was like, yeah, how you know my name? Man, this nigga been talking about you for so many years. I thought you was his imaginary friend. I said, what? Yeah, he's like, bro, he be talking about your music all day, bro. Like, it ain't a session don't go by. Yeah, Tron Cat just need to get he need to do this, do whoop-de-whoop. I'm like, oh, he's serious about how he feel about my music. Hell yeah. But this was like, I already done started Rawsync and everything. But most definitely a person to have in my corner. Like, he's so serious when he say, like, my stuff is crazy. And I've been putting it out and people have been like, yo, this is some new stuff. So I kind of got to give props to him for really making me put it out some work. But that's how I make music. Y'all don't even know how I write music. But y'all probably won't see that. Not on the Rawsync page. So
not only do you make music, but you also do some amount of directing as well. Film. You handle like film and videography.
Everything you see on my page, anything that has Rawsync on it, I've done single-handedly everything myself.
Where did you get into wanting to do videography as well? Was it because you wanted to do everything yourself? Or did you just did you pick that up from somewhere else?
I don't want to say too much about me because I'm personal, but
it's an enigma. I like it.
Yeah, because you can't be interested in somebody you know.
You can't be interested in somebody you know. That insinuates that you can't wonder about somebody that you know. Okay. Why do you think? I will get there. The videography. How does
so look, like I said, I don't want to say too much. How can I say this without sounding like I'm superior of everybody else? Because I don't want to come off like that.
Own that shit, okay?
No, I'm not. Personally, I'm not there yet in my life.
Yeah, but I understand the spirit that you're coming from. I don't think there's anything wrong with valuing yourself.
Cause I know how to do a lot of different stuff.
Right.
Like y'all see me do music, but it's like man, people that know me, they go, bro, you should be doing like watching movies growing up. I found out this for myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I watch movies, I'm not watching the movie. I'm watching what made the movie. Mm-hmm. I'm listening to the script. I'm looking at the color palette. I'm looking at the camera angles, how the camera move. I'm literally looking at it from what I believe is a director's standpoint. So that was like there. It wasn't like a decision. It was already there. I bought the camera because I wanted a camera. I had no intentions with the camera. Years later, I got a camera that mind you, those videos y'all seen, I've never recorded videos. So all that work is literally my first time doing anything with I didn't look into it, just me downloading datas of movies. I guess I just got the angles, because all that stuff is just made up my friend, but that's just made up angles that I came up with. I'm no real director, but I made all that stuff.
But it all comes from that raw place.
It all comes from the raw place. I don't look back, I don't try to critique it. I just go, this is a nice angle.
And then you literally just keep moving on.
I keep moving forward. Like
sure.
I built my website when I started the website. Like I didn't learn, I just built it. Like I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna build this. Everything I do is on impulse. I don't train for nothing, So
do you find yourself struggling with any kind of consistencies in one area since you're like moving impulsively?
Most definitely. Music is like, that's my all-time high, so music could take consistency from anything.
Right.
So I do find inconsistency, and I also find struggles of having to pedal back, because I'm ambitious, but I'm more curious than anything. I hate to be in a not know. So if I see somebody doing computer programming and I've never shown interest in that, I'm gonna learn just because somebody did it for me. Like, cause I don't know what they speaking, I need to know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm too curious. So I have to literally backpedal myself from wanting to learn new things. Cause man, I literally know how to do some stuff that you probably, I'll show you some stuff at the stream, like just to kind of zero in on what I'm saying. But you wouldn't believe, like I'm into so many different things. I know how to work on cars, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Tron, I know I'm talking to an amazing person. I know some.
You ain't gotta say that to me though. Like, okay, cool.
But I'm saying that to say multi-talented individuals. Yeah. The fact that you live because you don't live in Atlanta proper.
No.
You live further north of here.
Yeah, way further.
The fact that you live further north of here, it breaks my heart, because there are people here who I think you would vibe with exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Sharing not necessarily the specific, any specific craft, but just the fact that they are crafts people. Yeah. Okay, males, women, LGBT, everybody. Okay, in this space out and around here, especially on like the east side, southeast area of the city. That energy is there.
That energy. I ain't never met nobody on no real. That'd be cool though. That most definitely be cool.
So you haven't been out to any of the events that go on out here?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Atlanta is not me.
Really?
Nah.
Why not?
It's the people, bro. It's not Atlanta people itself, but I can't be around a lot of people. Yeah, that's just day one. Like since I've known of my own existence, being around a bunch of people is not my franchise.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Atlanta is just that.
It's a lot of fucking people around.
It is. It's like I don't feel like myself around a lot of folks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm gonna mellow out.
I would be at the very least interested in seeing you interacting with folks, because a lot of the people that were at the battle that you may have seen met. That's a lot of the crew, and that make up a lot of these events I'm speaking towards, so more than just like music artists, like without me knowing Francois, the little visual art that's like moving behind this, in the sides of the screen there, I wouldn't know how to do that shit. There are people who got streaming experience, and everyone's kind of bringing their talents together, and it's almost like a typhoon. It's just all this water. It's like coming together, not typhoon, fucking whirlwind, whatever they're called. Whirlwind of creativity and just ideas and shit meeting and being funneled into multiple experiences. It just depends on what that experience is. I would be very interested in seeing you navigate that. Now, you said earlier, you don't think that you can be interested in someone and know them.
Yeah.
Why?
Because like, man, interest, lies, and curiosity, like they coincide. Like,
true.
When you're a kid, what you doing, man? Once you figure it out, you put it down. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You might pick it back up, but that first interaction ain't never gonna be the same.
True.
Same thing with females. That's the thing. Once a female feel like she know everything about you, she start talking different. You know what I'm saying? So you got it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into no, but you gotta. And to think it ain't hard because as we speak, we're growing. You know, I'm not really I'm not a believer of time, but whatever that is that you're always growing. So you're always mysterious. You're always not known, you know, so, but if you don't really be tuned in with you're growing, then you're gonna tell you know what I'm saying?
You're doing the same shit all the time.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna tell the same story, you're gonna make the same beat, you're gonna do the same product. And mind you, you're not the same person, so I don't even see how people really, but that's just, you won't know everything about me. And I think that's for the best, man. You want to have somebody that you're interested in, but you can't say much about, so people have to come tune in. Like, no, you just gotta listen for yourself, but I can't even tell you how his music is. You just gotta come, and that's reels in more people, reels in, more streams, more people of interest. That's really how it is. So,
oh yeah.
And I know, like, this is the perfect time to do it because, internet is, they don't know what mystiqueness is. Everybody love to tell everything. So that one person that you just don't know nothing about, you like, why he won't tell me where he really from, or how many siblings. It's just something that you want to keep watching until he get a secret.
Yeah.
So you won't know me for real, and I couldn't even tell enough for you to know me, because tomorrow this conversation would be different. I'll probably have a new epiphany, because I have epiphanies every minute. So I'd be a different person in the interview tomorrow. So it's just like, why even try to keep up with me? Just live your life. You ain't got to know every single thing about a person. And, if you like what they do, you like what they do. But I know we live in a day and age where it's popular to know what everybody got going on.
I think it speaks to the amount that folks want to be what we call vulnerable. But I think there's, I agree with that. I see both sides. While there is a space and time for being vulnerable, everybody don't need to know your business and what you got going on. Yeah. We have to, I think, secluding oneself and being away from everything can be really helpful to allowing you to think and reflect so that you can change. And when you come back out a month later or like 2 months later, you can show, okay, this is where I've been, this is what I know now. And people be like, yo, what the fuck? Like last month he was on this shit.
And it's more interviews. Now you back interested. Now it's a new toy, so that's why I feel like a lot of things play into trying to stand out, but that's one of those things,
So you started Rawsync, started Rawsync like last year from my purview.
Yeah, October.
Yeah, so at first it tripped me out because I was looking for you, I was like, where's his name go? I couldn't find, I knew our conversation, but I think I kept scrolling past it because you changed your Instagram name, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here, because I remember you telling me you were building the website and everything. Which, did you build that using just like a framework like website, or did you build that code just straight up?
So it was a framework, but the things I wanted on there, I had to code in. So it was like, that's how most of everything on there is coded. Okay. But it still had a nice framework for me to code on. Gotcha. So, okay. But I did have to run a lot of code.
It's important.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna tell anybody that's listening right now, learn how to fucking code. Like, take the time to really sit back, chill out, and not just read, but there's YouTube videos, there's websites all over the place, there's free code websites. If you want one, you let me know and I will send you the links to them.
There's the CSS dictionary.
Mozilla's dictionary, goes through CSS, HTML, all types of shit. W3 Schools is another one. That's a good one. All the stuff that we're talking about.
We got some ones with pre-coded stuff, if you want. Exactly. Yeah, it's cool, man, but the language is very simple. It's just all knowing about how to type. Yep. Where to put it. That's it.
And being patient with doing it too, because it can get to be a bit tedious.
Yeah, I had I don't know how many codes I had on one page, but one thing was incorrect and it just wouldn't tell me where it is. So I spent hours of code reading, trying to figure out put a period somewhere, bracket guns. That was terrible. But
That's the rough part of
that's the true
program.
part. Yeah, that's the true part about it. Trying to find your mistakes.
So that being said, with Rawsync started, like what have you found to be some of the toughest aspects of growing your brand?
Not being. I feel like when you're putting yourself out there, you can still hesitate. You can still buckle, because we all move with wanting to not be criticized, but that's inevitable. You can't escape somebody not liking your stuff, even if it ain't evident. Like the views speak, the likes speak. They might, like, hey, why you like on my video? I just wasn't feeling that one. So I didn't want to have that. Mind you, I'm a hoarder in my music, so I don't know what criticism really feel like. That was probably one of those hard things. And starting out, like I had the business, and I'm thinking like, man, now what? Not only do I like to say things about myself, but I don't even like to be on camera, man. So I was like, but
we got him. First off, we got him. But go on.
Yeah. But I saw. So I was trying to figure out how I was gonna do it. I had the company, I had the music, I had the camera, I had everything. But I was like, man, how am I gonna start my brand? How am I gonna get people to know what this really is? I was posting picture beats. You put up a picture, you have a beat in the background. I was like, man, this ain't the move, but this ain't even fun, really. I did a little weird video with my iPhone. It went kind of crazy. I'm like, all right, cool, let me do that again. That's really how it is. You do something, it takes off.
Yep.
I did this one video. It's not on my page right now because it ain't really what my page about. I do a lot of monitoring, but I posted it, no ads, no nothing. The thing got up to like 5,000 views. It had like 500 likes. I'm like, all right, this is it. I went full 180 on it though. The thing that went crazy, I was not doing that no more.
I was about to ask you, so for you, someone who doesn't like to have those patterns, to do things impulsively, to double down around a set pattern like that, like this worked, I'm gonna keep doing that over and over.
I did not do that, bro.
Yeah, I was about to be like, how could you? But you didn't.
I betrayed that. Because it got me views, but it didn't, like, it was already done, So I'm like, whatever, the next thing. And that's more interesting to look at anyway. When you swiping, you're not finna get the same thing from this brother. But no, what I see works, I go, oh, that's cool. But I'm gonna continue to find what works, which is probably one of the other struggles with my brand, because you creating a community and people come there sometimes for what they saw originally. Yeah. So you got to really find that person who's not afraid to experiment with what they would like.
And you have to also be that person too.
Yeah.
There's I have a really close friend who kind of executes in that fashion with his brand, and as your community develops, I can use him as an example. As his communities develop, they've grown to appreciate and know that he's not going to come with the same energy, or with the same particular product, though the look and style may be the same. But he's also an artist, so having that style is very important for him.
That's probably one thing I can say about my work is that it was made by me, and that's completely fine with me. I'm not gonna change that aspect up. That's fine with me, but that's most definitely true. Like, you do gotta find those people and building that. Man, that'd be so dope if I could really build that audience stuff.
I think you can. How long does it take you to create, since you're doing it so quickly and so in the moment? Do you find yourself taking time, say like it might take you a day or two to really just be like, this epiphany, this is what I want to make, this is what I'm hearing, this is how I want to put this together, and then you actually go and make it? Or is it shorter than that? Can that happen in a day?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question, because how my brain works when it comes to making music. So I go in there and make the beat, and I'm all about the imagery and the feel. So I hear it and I go, oh, this is a dark scenery beat, this is the angle, this is the setup. The following morning I wake up, I shoot exactly what I thought. So it's typically a day. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, the morning I'm hearing the music, I make the video with no pre-installed pause. It's just, I'm just Rawsync.
Keeping the brand flowing, like it's through and through. It's consistent. That is consistent. I think more people, we have to start to appreciate the consistency in creating with an inconsistent palette, inconsistent template. You know, it could be different any week, any couple of months later. You'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you. It does keep things interesting, and I think it does kind of draw folks' sides. Like, why do they keep doing this shit? Most people think they don't know what they want, but what if you want is to keep being different?
That's
to
what I'm
keep
saying.
challenging yourself. Because that shit's hard. That's why I'm asking how long. That's why I asked you how long it takes for you to do it, because that is not easy to do.
Oh, no, this thing flow out of me, bro. I literally have to. I be having to put it down. Like, I literally have to put it down because it don't stop when it comes to me. So I feel like that was just. I feel like how I am was just part of my personality. It wasn't even like something I had to earn. Not to say what I got going ain't, you know, hard work, but it was most definitely a part of me. Most definitely. You know, and like going back to being unique and having people like going through your page, seeing that it's not the same. Most people don't know what they want because when you go on social media, you ain't going there with nothing in mind.
Nope.
You swiping, so each swipe you don't know what you about to see, and you're getting entertainment by that. That's just the same thing on my page. You just want to be able to. I feel like it's a safe zone. They don't want you to keep doing that because it bothers them. Like, your favorite artist doing this, now he doing rock and roll. That's gonna bother you. You see what I'm saying? But you're gonna later on respect it, especially if you see it doing very well.
Hell yeah.
I don't like it, but man, you know what I'm saying? So, and not only that, you got a timeline of different genre of people. Like, now you got a good amount of people that's messing with you. You don't just got the hip hop industry. You got these people who like film, these psychedelic type vibe video. You got a good genre, and the genre that you capture, they might not be listening to you now, but they most definitely listen to the work that you put out. So it's just like that stream of new people, and you always gonna be put in a new position. You ain't gonna see the same people. You're not gonna have the same crowd bumping. You know, You're gonna get to experience the world, and just do how you always been creative in music.
So, with that being said, while you are experiencing different people, clearly, I would imagine the folks who were, you know, behind you, you know, your homies, you know, you had kind of opened up to and shared your music with earlier on. They've been hearing it. How did you handle criticism as you really started to put things out? Is really what I want to ask you.
Man, I haven't really got it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, whether I don't really see it. Most of the time it's, and I don't want to shame on nobody, but I think we live in a time where criticism ain't really a positive thing. You know, like,
no.
You only got a like button nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
No, I know.
It's only a like button, so I can't really tell if somebody is seeing growth and they just want to like me, and just I can't really distinguish the two because it's over the internet, man. Like, and I'll never know. To be real, like, you'll never really know what somebody truly feel about your work. Because you don't know what side of the spectrum unless they real close to home.
Yeah.
You really would never know. So I never. Now, if it's criticism, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Because that's a real fan right there.
Yeah.
You know, only a real person that's in your corner would tell you this shit was whack.
Yeah.
And that's what I look for. When I made wacky beats, I got some wacky stuff that I ain't even never dropped before. But I show people, I look at people, hey man, how you feel about this? Like, I'll watch you.
See it in their face.
Man, I want you to say something mean. And they go like, man, this is really beautiful. And I'm like, what I got to do? What I got to do to make you hate something I made? And when I find out you hate it, that's what I'm about to play with. Okay. That's the expression I'm about to mess with, because that's something like, dang, I can't say that. No, people ain't doing it. All right.
You want.
When somebody don't like something, that's where the new music genre lies.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I like that perspective. I do agree with that.
Think about all the music that came out. Man, we hated it. But think about what it is today.
I know, man.
You see what I'm saying, man?
I'm telling you. It's honestly, to me, the last era that I really, of like artists that I really was like, oh no, I really fuck with these dudes, was when around the time that Sean, Cole, Kendrick, Mac Miller, fucking Joey Badass, Kid Cudi, and all of them were really starting to come up like hard. That's when I was like, okay, yo, this is that shit. Like, I really fuck with these dudes. But then it's a lot of bullshit that I don't like out right now.
it did blindside us. It swept most of the 90s peoples off to the feet, especially because it was so close to home for us. Like, we built childhood memories off of these guys. To hear like people come in to what, honestly, I don't want to say too much about it because you always want to be in receiving mode. When you think about what you don't like, you taking yourself out of receiving mode. I used to talk so much crap about what they did to music, but it's like you can do anything to it. There's no rules to sound. Honestly, it really ain't. So I kind of let go of what other people are doing with music. But I will say, creative-wise, nobody want to do that. It sucks to not really have. There are artists out there. But there are artists out there, I'm not throwing no shade, man. There are artists out there who is making music they know how to make.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. Personally, I would still love to listen to it. I got a boy that made some samples, some chops. I love listening to it. But it sounds like you know how to make chops. It sounds like you know how to make jazz music. I know where to go to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Creativity, like when I want something fresh, you gotta do something crazy. I gotta hate it first, you know? And then I'm gonna double back and go, hey, my goddamn, you caught me with this one. You caught me on the side eye. And I can't categorize it. I listen to it and I go, this is new. I'm looking for that. If I'm hearing like a hip hop beat, I'm gonna hear it through, see what the bars got, see what the beat feel like, but I'm not expecting too much happening, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the people that really do keep the different things going, they still making music.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying. It's not saying the music is a bad thing, but I want to hear people making themselves into audio. Like, that's really what I want to hear. Like, cool, I know you know how to chop up some vocals and make a funky soul beat. I do too. Trust me, I studied Ninth Wonder and Jay Dilla. I really did want to know how to do it, but I know how to do it now. I'm not finna be them. I'm not finna walk in nobody else's path of music, you know? Like, you can literally be an icon if you just really want to create your own path. And I feel like to do that, you gotta get away from the genre of music.
You about to make me pull out a notebook that I have, because there's like a, it's not, might be by you. God, there's a saying.
Track 13.
There's a saying.
Track 13.
Yo, what's going on? Okay. Wait, actually, I'll ask you that in a moment. Wait. Doesn't matter. No, it does. I want to find this. Come here, man.
Go ahead, bro. Take your time.
It's important because, like you say, you speaking to my spirit, man. The moment to moment, just kind of living in the moment and creating the moment, I think is deeply important. And I do think a lot of folks find comfort in these standard beats. Now, you know, in the same way that you spoke, like, I have also grown to be like, you know what? This is music that I can appreciate. Yeah. I blame my brother for that mostly because he kept playing this shit. But like at the same time, like it's hard not to, you know, bob my head or even feel like, okay, you know, I can rap over this.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I feel like I can rap better than the people that I'm rapping over. But at the same time, it's like, you know, why? Here it goes. Why hate on it? Just appreciate it and keep it pushing. If it's not your speed and it's not your steez, like. Just, you know, don't worry, don't do that.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
And now you know where lane you want to fit in.
Exactly.
You just learning about yourself, really. You ain't got to, you know.
Ooh, and why fake the funk? It trips me out when there are a lot of rappers who want to come up, but they're coming up rapping like the same people they were listening to. You know, there are rappers that when they do it differently, that's gone. I'm immediately like, yo, I'm here for this shit. Yeah. When your flow is literally flowing and riding with the beat or breaking off of it and jumping back in, you're showing lyrical prowess, and I think that speaks to the competitiveness and the creativity in like rapping as a pillar, and like MCing as a pillar of hip hop.
Now we talking about rap, see, because my perspective on rap is just the same. But it's constructed to sound amazing, but man, how I feel about rap, I ain't gonna say like, okay, there are artists out there who are rapping just like their peers, just like the audience that they want to be a part of. But then you have those artists, I don't want to say, I'm gonna say conscious rap, lyrical rap. It's nice, but they're still kind of like that opposite party that they don't want to be like.
Yeah.
conscious rap or no conscious rap, you're still doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're battling the opposite party. They talk about them, you know, they do all this, and I'm like, you're still rapping the same lyrics though, even though it's not trash lyrics. You're still doing the same thing as the next man that was already in your genre of music.
Yeah.
I'm like, you sound like an artist I know, you know, and that's nothing wrong with it, but that's the same people you talking about.
Yeah, but that's just it. I think me and you're speaking to as well. And correct me if I'm overextending, you know, this thought here. Like, you don't want to hear you want to find the thing you haven't quite heard yet. I don't think there's anything wrong. I would surmise that you probably don't find that there's anything wrong with, you know, even that new person that like has that unique sound, touching the veil of someone else's style.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you like that person because they truly have a unique execution on a particular song, albeit them a producer or a rapper. So that's sort of like I fuck with that.
Like like you want to listen to, or that was kind of on the head. Like when I listen to somebody, my first innate reaction should be, I don't like that I don't understand this music. That's seriously, like when I first heard D'Angelo, I didn't understand the music. The music was so odd that I couldn't even sing on tempo with this guy. Like, but it sounded amazing. It sounded like he didn't know how to make music. I want somebody to do that. Sound like you don't know how to make music, but you know that this is beautiful. Like, you know it's beautiful. Like, I know the type of music I make. You're not supposed to like it at first. That's when I see people go, this is nice. I'm like, damn, I ain't doing it for real. I gotta make you feel uncomfortable when you listen to my music. I gotta make you shed a tear or something.
You were running a risky business, my friend.
I know. That's why that's probably what undertone of me wanted to be scared to put out this stuff. Cause I can't sit in front of everybody and make hip hop beats every day. We know I know how to do that. I did it yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I can show you that I know how to do it. I can show you for 5 years straight, make another hip hop beat. The 6 year later, you go, man, that's a crazy hip hop beat. I'm like, I know, you've been saying that for 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's just like, how can you comment on something you can't even describe? You don't even know what it is, really.
Seriously.
You don't know what it is, so you're going to keep coming back. Man, what was that? How the beat loop go? And you listen to it, and it's a door slamming and footsteps running all over.
Oh, my gosh, bro.
And it's just like, you can't describe it. You can't, but you living in a moment with the present sound. And that's a true artist right there for me.
Speaking to my spirit, man, because this is the one thing I love, because I really, really do love
I got some work I can show you.
I'm looking forward to hearing it. It is I love when I hear something and producer tells me like, yeah, this is actually where that sample's from. And I listen to, and especially if I know it, but I'm listening to your song and I can't hear it, and I'm really trying, my brain's really trying to like, I'm not looking for a sample, but it's still trying to wrap its mind around what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it trips me the fuck out. It makes me jump out of my seat.
I take pride in that.
It really does. Like, that shit is amazing. That's literally, granted, there were people, yes, that I re-invited, especially for you all, but I was having a hard time getting in contact with more new individuals. But the reason I even reached out to any of you for these battles, remember, this is an invitational.
Yeah.
I don't know y'all from Adam.
I ain't never seen your face. I didn't know who I was looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end but I'm listening and I'm like, yo, I fuck with this shit. Cause this is the unique style that I want to hear battle up against another unique style. My man's coming with, it's like, you ever watch Bleach?
Yeah, I used to bench watch that.
Hell yeah. So, you know, they got this, what is it? It's not Zanpakuto, right? That's their blade? They fucking, and then when it powers up, every blade's different.
Yeah,
when they turn their shit up, you never see the same blade.
That's the best part about it. And they hype their blades up. But that's probably the best part about that show.
That shit is absolutely amazing. You all kind of represent that to me. I also speak about it, and I think about you all as producers and creatives as like kung fu artists. I'm a huge martial artist, and so
I appreciate that.
when I hear their ass in the screen. Oh, it's sumo. Don't hate on the sumo. Anyway, it's funny. Anyway, when I was listening to this music, I'm constantly, man, I wonder how this mantis style is gonna go up against this snake style. That's what I'm thinking about this shit like that.
Yeah, that is. Okay, I see what you're saying. Because it's like two different universes colliding.
Completely.
You trying to, and it's really hard to judge that.
Y'all are all coming with different schools of martial arts. That's why I was like, you know what? I wanted to do fan votes, and at the end of the day, though, through some suggestions and criticisms, I think I'm going to extend it out to judges voting and try to keep it while trying to keep the fan aspect involved. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but it doesn't matter. The saying that I did want to tell you that I think you encompassed goes: the one who is following his master's teaching, all the while adding his own personal touches, will move forward, while the one who is satisfied to just reproduce what his master taught him is doomed to stay still.
Yeah.
That's literally
that's how I'm encompassed. Yeah, and I even go a step further to say, I'm, and this is like, I had a bad rep with this, but I am on purpose, like, ignorant to teaching. Like, I literally want to know how to not do things right, because we all been taught. So I know if I haven't been taught what I'm doing, you don't know how to do it, because you haven't been taught.
Hell yeah.
You know what I've been doing. So it's just like, I don't even need a master. I want to mess up so bad that I find gold down there. Like, that's how crazy I am about making things sound amazing. I put just to explain one of my beats, I put a lovely key piano play on one of my songs and then turn around and put a dirty saw bass on top of it. Two things that should not go together. I kid you not, this is probably one of the most beautiful beats I made. But I'm like interested in making people hate what I'm doing so much that they just love it at the end of the day. Like, you know, when an artist drop an album, you go, no, that was terrible. I was talking about a month later, you cannot get off of that album. That's the relationship that sound, that's just how it is.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I get that from so I'm gonna use an example of someone who's like fairly, I don't know if I would say popular, but they're known. When you know him, if you know him, you know him.
Okay.
My brother showed me A$AP Rock when I was like probably 15 or 16. And I grew up playing Tony Hawk. So one of his songs is in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. It's called Labor. Never really paid attention to it, but the song was dope. But when my brother showed me more of his music, I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
A$AP Rock, right?
Yeah. And as soon as as I got older and kept listening and hearing it more and more, I'm like, one, this dude's a lyrical monster. Ace's vocabulary is absolutely ridiculous.
Most definitely.
And then the Blackhead's beats and every other, like a few of the other producers that he's worked with over his career, I'm like, yo, they shit is hard as fuck too, but it's all different. When I listened to MF Doom for the first time, I was twisted. I was twisted as fuck. I'm like, what is this shit?
That's a prime example of when I first heard MF. I'm not even gonna front and say I hated his work. I loved it immediately. That was one of the first beats. Producers, when I first wrote a beat, I'm getting tongue twisted. That was one of the first beats I wrote to. Like, I had to. I ain't even ever rapped before, but that was gonna be the beat I rapped on. I can't remember the name, but MF Doom is a prime example of, you would listen to this man. This man will rap off beat on purpose. Rest in peace.
Seriously.
I mean, that stuff was addicting to listen to, and that's like really what it is. Like, when you're making music, nobody's touching. You're literally, because we interact with the world through relationship. We literally interact with the world with love. When you eat something, that same signal. When you interact with a person, that everything's the same. So sound is the same. When you hear something you don't know, that's like meeting a person you never met before. That interaction, you're gonna feel in unknown territory, because that being is different. You don't know them. That's what music is, man. So if you literally put that in front of somebody's face, you're literally watching them get to know each other and seeing how that relationship will work out. And they'll feel like that first girlfriend you ever met. Like, you swear up and down, this is the only person you'll ever need in your life, you know? And then you learn who she really is. But I'm not just saying when you learn that it coincides with music, but that's really what it is. When you're making music, you're putting a relationship in front of somebody for the first time, like a new person, a breath of fresh air. And how they interact with them, since it's nothing like no other female in this world, they're going to naturally become addicted to the sound.
Right. It's
literally a chemical process that happened to you. So MF Doom was one of those situations where you go, I don't know this bitch. I don't know this bitch, but I'm about to get to know her. You know what I'm saying? Because that's literally how it feels when you listen to a good. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I do, because I felt that way. Like, MF and Ace both were people I had to listen to and be like, wait, okay, I don't understand it. And especially as friends of mine who did listen, oh, now you listening? I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, now I'm listening. Am I entering a new level that I didn't know about? Like, all these niggas are playing in the same, like, World 1, 2. Y'all niggas is in here on, like, Star World 4. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is this shit? But it was that underground sound. And then also, I think that's why I think and grew to find the importance in having range and listening to a lot of different shit. For the longest time, I wasn't listening to fucking, like, country music. And just this year, I was listening to some Johnny Cash and a bunch of other shit.
I got a bunch of his records.
You got a bunch of Johnny Cash's records?
Yeah.
Dude, see? Man, okay. I like this. I like the energy. I'm, like, really getting into it for the first time. I really sat and, like, even though I've been hearing Marvin Gaye my whole life, I really sat and, like, listened to Marvin Gaye. Have you ever heard of Fleetwood Mac?
No, but I listen to Marvin Gaye heavily.
Heavily?
Yeah.
His era, especially early on, when he was doing that blue shit, there were so many other bands and types of people also doing that in music. In that time period, I never really realized that. But at the same time, they were all doing their own take on it. And it's a beautiful thing. It's something that I grew to, like, really be able to appreciate. So you have people who have been hearing your stuff. You obviously have fans among your friends. I'm sure that you know. That's why we say we have friends. We also have our acquaintances. It's important to make that distinction.
Yeah, sure.
Who are the people that are in your corner, and then who are the people that you are kind of finding as, like, are rivals to you?
Dang, that's a good question. On my hand, I can only say, really, I got one solid brother. No, I'll say this, I got 3 solid homies. That's probably it. If I'm missing anybody out, I'm sorry. I got 3 solid homies. They all are fans of my work. Rivalry-wise, I feel like anybody could be a rival at any time.
Interesting. He's got that hand and fist energy.
Yeah, no, seriously, anybody can be a rivalry at any time. Because of what I do and how I do things, you can really be intimidated by it. Here you are just learning how to make a boom bap beat. You find out that the minute I found out how to make it, I scratched it entirely. Like, I don't even care about it no more. That type of, I've seen it firsthand, man.
You over here like, you stuck in this boom bap shit, and I'm over here taking boom bap and eating them and putting them together.
You see what I'm saying?
Make something completely different.
You see what I'm saying? Yes, and not even caring that you don't like it or anybody will like it. Like, I'm in here having fun with it, and while it simultaneously grows so much attention, it's like, I've seen people go, man, I don't even know if I can. I just seen people get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I got 3 good solid brothers in my corner though that I can hit up and just, you know what I'm saying. One of these brothers in the stream with us, so I appreciate that.
What's that?
So yeah, but as far as real rivalry go, I ain't got none of that, man.
You over here, everybody can catch these hands.
Yeah. I'm too into the music though to even like pay attention to whatever is going on outside of me. I be having to remember to support other people.
Yeah.
Just for supporting me, I gotta show support too. Like, I really believe you gotta reciprocate, you know. But sometimes I be too into work where I don't even look up sometimes. Like, I forget I'm running a business. I'm in here making music. I'm still ordering sounds. Like, you know, like I made 26, 27. Y'all ain't even heard them yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't even know if I have real rivalries. I'm still pushing out 27, beats a night. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as crazy as it sounds, bro. I don't know.
I mean, that sounds pretty wild. Not gonna lie.
It's not as crazy. It's not. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You probably got to see me do it, man.
I'll have to, and I love watching the process. Don't get me started. I have my sitting looking like, oh shit.
I will say, not to cut you off, that's gonna be a talent I gotta learn. That's gonna be a skill that I have to learn because I found out when I have my homie try to come over and watch me make beats, I mentally, to be that vulnerable, I don't have it. I have to make them things by myself.
But you acknowledge that shit though.
Hell yeah.
And I fuck with that because
Yeah.
you said the key word is being vulnerable.
Yeah,
that's not easy to do.
No, not in front of people.
Mm-mm.
Nah, not in front of people. Like, why you put that sound? Come on, bro. Like, don't. It do sound like some crazy country. It do sound like that. Wait till I put the kicks on there first, man. If I even do that, sometimes I put a glass bottle getting destroyed on the kick. So you really won't know.
Do you make your own sounds at all? Like when you do you create that experience? Because like a glass bottle getting smashed on concrete can sound different than a glass bottle being smashed on wood.
No, I make some sounds.
Okay.
I really want to get into it. I was gonna make a beat pack where I was gonna make all my sounds that I would use. So it's most definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
But I like sounds that ain't even considered sounds you should make music with. Like just some wild stuff. Like
whoopee cushions going off type shit. If you can find it.
Yeah, in that genre. Like,
not what I was just saying. It's not the genre. It's just literally the matter of like, if you heard this, if you heard it and you recorded it, that's something you would use.
Yeah.
So like, if you woke up in the morning and there was a woodpecker pecking on a tree over here, but you could hear the bees in the background. Those two sounds together, you would use those two things. You might split them up, you might keep them together, that kind of shit.
I would definitely do that.
Hell yeah.
Take some aluminum foil, I bake it. It's whatever, man. That really pushes you to make new sounds though. When it's like, how do I even put a sound on something like this? When it's just all wonky. But I mean, the minute you start playing with it and playing instruments with it, you'll be surprised. You really would be.
How do you stay driven to keep making music then? You are doing so much in the moment. Like do you feel like you have to stay driven even? Cause shit, it seems like if it comes out, once the water builds up quick and then you just want to pour it out, just let it all out. Mm-hmm. Do you ever feel like you have to stay motivated to do that?
Nah, never.
Interesting.
No, never. Cause that's the interesting thing about expressing yourself authentically all the time. When you feel unmotivated, that's a sound. When you feel like something, that's a sound.
Okay.
There is no.
You're the first person I ever heard say that.
Yeah, there is no. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it though. Like, you say, I'm not feeling motivated today. What just came out of your mouth was an expression,
right? Which
can be turned into art.
Oh my God.
You see what I'm saying? Like we're living expression stuff. Like so it's just like you go, I don't feel like that's a good time to make something that you ain't never ever made before.
Yeah.
Versus when you feel like making music, okay, cool, it's gonna sound good, but now you don't feel like it. I'm telling you, whatever you put in that program, man, it's finna be groundbreaking. If you really believe it to be, because you don't feel like it and you about to go in there and try to make something, man, that's an expression that people won't tap into.
Yeah.
So now you got an untapped expression and an untapped sound. It's everything you do is living expression. When you eat, that's an expression. When you walk, everything you do. So you can't never say you're not motivated or you're not in the mood. That's unrealistic. You still alive.
So it's almost like, correct me, if I'm understanding, correct my understanding, it's like being motivated. If you're not truly not motivated, you're not moving at all. You're not speaking.
You're not alive.
You're not alive.
It don't make sense. We're like emotions. Like that's what we are. We got logical. We can think critically. We fix problems, but we're emotions, man. That's all the movement you have. That's all the movement you ever will have. And like it's crazy. Like the idea of, and if you believe in it, it will hold you back. Like if you believe write-a-block is real, then you got it. You see what I'm saying? Because what you know is your limitation. What you believe in, what you know is your limitation. Correction. So if you believe you ain't got time, then you don't got time because you too busy worried about how much time you don't have.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying, though? When you could literally just be doing it right in the instance that you believe you don't have time.
We living different in this.
So it's like, it's how you put it. Like if you believe you're unmotivated, then you truly are unmotivated. That's just how it is. You put it in your room, it exists in your room. I don't even know what being unmotivated is. Truth be told, you know what I'm saying? I have the same feeling going into something every time. That's all it is. Like, that's really all it is. I be having people to tell me to calm down. I'm like, you need to figure out how to turn me up some more. When it comes to creating music, you need to figure out how to amp this up.
It was like, calm down. You're like, calm. What the fuck?
Seriously though, expression, man, having the ability to smell, taste, see things, that's an opportunity you don't even know how to appreciate. and you shouldn't even understand how to appreciate it, but you should try to as best as you can, because it's hard to fully understand. It's hard to fully appreciate what you don't understand.
Yeah.
But you should try the best of your ability, and that comes in different many shapes and forms.
Honestly, I really peeped that. I've been feeling that way about when I think about an opponent, both spiritually and in the physical. So it's like, as I'm gonna say it this way, I'm gonna be real blunt, actually.
Go ahead.
Black people in people in the black community that I spend my time around, they be feeling real strong about white folk. My stepmom's white, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Great family, 2 dope siblings, have a lot of white friends growing up, all that kind of shit. So I don't quite feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, for the people that they are speaking to, those people in that culture, in that group that they're speaking to, even there I'm like, you know what? As much as I would want to be mad and sharing y'all frustration, it's hard for me to be mad because at the end of the day, somebody in that squad was clever enough to fuck some shit up. And I need to make sure I understand what the fuck is going on there. Because I may not understand the reason why, but at the same time, they did it. Yeah. That is worth getting. That's worth, and it'll sound weird, but it's like, that's worth appreciating.
We got God.
You know?
You see what I'm saying?
God!
We got God.
Exactly.
Like, on another note of just anything life-wise, not even race-wise, man, what you talk about is what you become.
Mm-hmm.
So if you always worrying about what white folks got going on, then you won't have nothing going on. You know what I'm
looking at what everybody else doing.
You just nothing but an observer. You know, and it's just like, how can you, man? Like, just focus on yourself, man. Do what you love to do, man. Because if you keep focusing on everything you don't have and what they done to you, then you're literally creating your reality and your future if you believe in time. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know people ask me like, well, you know, who you working to be better than, or who you working to try to overcome? Really, on some, you know, I'm working to be better than my future self. Cause I'm that confident that what I'm going to make is going to be hard to beat.
Hell yeah.
So I'm already trying to beat what's to come.
It's like what I haven't even made yet.
Exactly, but what I know is coming.
Hell yeah.
Like, man, I need to get these verses out because I can't keep up with Buddy is a good writer. But I'm really talking about myself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Buddy is a good writer. Our Buddy makes some good beats. I need to make sure my beats is actually crushing his.
Hell yeah.
But you're really just trying to outdo yourself. What's to come? See what I'm saying? So always focus on yourself and nobody else, man.
No, seriously.
Negatively.
Seriously. I interpret that in a way of I find my future self, my present self appreciates my past self, because that means my past self helped out my future self.
Exactly.
I didn't even know I was gonna need what I needed, but past me was like, nah, nigga, we gonna make this so that we can make that better later.
Exactly.
And so you could be set up to do better later. And I find myself, especially within the last like 2 years, being like, go past Cap. Did it. Now I'm dapping myself up and moving on to help create for future Cap again.
Yeah.
You know, I deeply understand where you come from. There is a lot of kindred spirit in the conversation that we've been having. I'm glad to meet someone who is more impulsive than I am.
I'm alright.
No, it's good. This is good. Like, more impulsive than like me, because you know, folks that really know me will tell you like, nah, he gonna do some shit. No, he not supposed to do it.
You that guy.
Just to see, you know, walk in the darkness a little bit, touch it just a little bit. Not to pull his hand away, but to be like, no, this is how I'm operating in this space, so I can be that light that's still walking through the darkness.
Right.
And a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to take those risks. Like I said earlier, the way you're doing what you're doing is mad risky. But the community and the people that you can grow and will develop around you, they're really gonna have a special ear, and that's really gonna be a special like niche group. That's your core. That's what marketers and businesses are looking to try to keep and be, but they can't, because they are trying to make money, and that being the end goal, they have to do what they know works, because humans are also creatures of habit. They got to get all the creatures of habit, and we ain't all creatures of habit, you know, in the ways that they might want us to be. Some ways our habit is literally being ambiguous, being impulsive. That's the habit of some people. You have that habit.
I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to it. I hate being taught how to do something. As long as I know it can be done, I'm finna mess it up.
Hell yeah.
I'm about to mess it up, bro, because that's how I live. That's how we all live, realistically.
True.
We just don't know how to embody how we live.
And I think it's just like I was saying too, like we don't know where to put that. You know, we might be doing it in one area when we really want to take that same energy of like not knowing shit and breaking things, just so that you can learn how to fix it in other areas.
Exactly.
You know, but you got to figure out how to keep that fluid through us and through all of our experiences.
Exactly.
I suffer with that shit. I really do. I have a hard time with it. There's so much control that I find myself wanting to have sometimes that if I'm not told, I have to really, it takes me a while to remind myself, you know what, dog, it's okay.
It really is, though.
You know, it's okay to not have this much control over the situation. Just to remember that, you know, that I can still control that outcome. That's one thing my dad always told me.
That's some cool stuff right there.
Where it's like, you control the outcome of what's going on. That's why I don't have sympathy for people who is like, oh, this is all I can do. If you came out the hood of Augusta, and your family put you in a better place.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a prime example for any other person. Yes, it's not going to be the same path. They may not have the immediate same opportunities to do that, but it's still possible. I was popping off about that shit last night, talking about a homeless person. People be like, oh, it's so mean. But it's like, no, it's not mean. Because if our parents, if we have examples in our life of people that we can speak to say that about someone else who's out here just asking for handouts, no, you got this. You lost on that shit. You lost me on that shit.
Yeah.
Straight up.
The handout thing, that's different. I have a problem even asking for handouts.
I believe it. You won't even take water.
Yeah, that is true. But no, I don't ask for nothing, man. I learn how to do everything myself.
Is there, aside from learning how to do everything yourself, is there a reason? Like, that you don't want to ask for handouts? Is there anything else behind that?
Oh yeah, like, you know what you said in your notes. Like, if you have a master, you reciprocate his teachings and then implement your own. But what happens if you don't have one?
You can't reciprocate it.
You don't have nothing to reciprocate. Yeah. And then what happens if people become a fan of that? Who's going to get the teachings? You know, like,
seriously, yeah.
How the market is going to start? You're the only person they can go to even experience that. You see what I'm saying? Versus you went to Buddy Masterclass. I mean, he taught how many people in the masterclass? You know, you got
everybody gonna be doing what Buddy doing.
Exactly. You got more options. You know, so I don't know how to work a camera. I don't know how to work video editing softwares, but I'm doing something. And you see what I'm saying? It's I'm having people hit me up in the DMs like, yo, this is amazing, you know. And that's just how I feel about it. Like, I don't really need to be taught anything as long as I know how to express myself with my environment, because that's important. Like, we got to forget, like, everything's an ideology, like everything's a concept of some sort. Like a camera, it's a camera because we said it's a camera. So you don't necessarily need teachings on anything. It's just how we interact with the thing we deem it to be. There's no such thing as a professional photographer. There's no such thing as a person who professionally expresses himself with the camera. You see what
dude that uses this camera might have learned these different aspects about the camera, how to use it. He's using those, you know, the way he wants.
How he felt. And we use that as a template for professional photography. But that is a person professionally expressing himself that we generalize systematically. Like, Jazz was once somebody jazzing away,
literally fucking around.
You see what I'm trying to say?
So people who was like, I want to fuck around with this person.
Yeah, you see what I'm trying to say? So why not jazz everything? It makes no sense to
said it.
Yeah, it makes no sense to learn like professionally. If it's an area of expression, like if you painting, you dancing, why learn professionally? You have an untapped expression. Go have at it, bro. It don't have regulations. It don't have rules. It literally has nothing. It don't have anything. You can literally just do whatever you want. Do whatever you feel, not whatever you want. Do whatever you feel. That's important.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about cameras. Even like designing websites and stuff. Like put stuff in places that, hey, I think it look cool right there. It looks ugly, then it must look cool because you noticed it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like you don't have to learn how to do nothing. You just have to learn how to express with things. That's it.
Understand the fundamentals through doing. You just can then express off the backs of the fundamentals of your own understanding.
Yeah. Only through things you can express. Like if you're trying to run a business, you better go get your documents. You better do some work. You gotta read. Because you're gonna get in some legal situations if it ain't done properly. So just when it comes to expressing yourself through things you can use to express yourself and things you can find as well, because you can always find new ways to express yourself, whether it be climbing trees or playing in dirt. It really don't matter.
I climb trees.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot when I was a kid.
I like walk around with shoes off and shit.
Me and my I sit by.
You sit?
Yeah, we sit by trees.
You sit by trees?
Yeah.
You shorter?
We sit down.
I like that.
Yeah, that's just what you do.
I like that shit. I like playing. I like walking around, still climbing on jungle gyms and playgrounds and shit when I get the opportunity to.
That's something I do.
Just to move different, just so I could, get off the ground. If I can try to balance on a fucking the edge of a sidewalk or fucking just a couple days ago, you know how they have those little stoppers for the cars or whatever outside the parking lot.
Oh yeah, the little yellow things.
Well, yeah, I'd like walking on, balancing on those, jumping across and looking like a ding dong in
No,
society, but having fun.
No, it's really called living in the moment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like you alive in the present moment. Like I said, I feel weird about time, but you alive. You in a cycle. I call it a cycle.
Straight up.
Yeah, because most people forget that everything we doing is a concept, bro. There's no right way to do anything, and it never will be. But it only will be if you believe it to be. Like so have at it, man. It ain't. You can't really judge a person for real.
No, and to do so, I don't think there's anything wrong with, expressing those opinions and sharing a judgment per se. Just as long as you know that just people understand the range of their opinion is much smaller than most folks think that actually is. It's not just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You just don't like it.
You can't see that. You can't see the same eye to eye as the other person.
You can't.
Yeah.
Because if you could, we wouldn't have dope shit. Everything would be the same plain Jane bullshit.
And I think that's a good thing. You don't want everybody to see, because you made a good point. We all be doing the same shit.
This will be the first time we don't have a set. There are things behind that are important, all the same, for what we're doing in this moment. I do deeply appreciate you taking the time to come over here and have these share about you. For as much as you for as much as you didn't share, I still feel like I learned a lot.
Yeah,
that's
what's up, though.
I'm not even gonna lie. It is a blessing to me because these moments, because I don't know y'all like that for real. Real.
Yeah, for real though.
Well, as I talk to you, and I've been talking to others, I'm like, I get to see more of myself in everyone. And I also get to see, you's like, oh man, I don't know if people would, be on the same vibe. I'm like, no, I'm hip to where you coming from, like straight up.
That's what's up.
In the spirit of that, one thing that I like to do for you, you helping me with this experience and taking the time out of your day to do just that. I wanted to give you a unique item from me. My friend owns a company called Madness & Company. He, as the friend that I was talking about earlier, who has a really unique style. To go ahead, take a look. That is for you. It's why I asked you what size shirt you have.
I was curious about that too. So your friend owns this?
He owns this company. He goes to different conventions around Georgia, where he's starting to spread out around the country a bit too, pop up to different shows.
Yes, sir.
That is for you. That is the King Punch tee. Now, here's the thing about it.
Shout out to King Punch.
There are only 2 versions of that right now. that's the only one with color on it like that.
Hey,
with especially the greens in it.
Definitely wear this in a video.
Dog, that would be dope. You don't have to, but that would be really cool. There are.
I'm familiar with this logo.
There's going to be more to come. If you've ever been, do you go to any conventions around Georgia?
Man, I don't do nothing. I had a friend that was telling me like, yo, you need to communicate. You on some other stuff. I don't be doing it. But like I said, my nose is in my work.
That's fair. I
don't go nowhere.
You gotta come out to like Cartridge at least once.
Invite me, man. I'll try to pull it through.
I'll tell Hunter and then to let you know, but it is down here. It's downtown.
That's the problem, man. You know what's crazy? I literally started a meetup. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey yo, we should meet up at the park. My homeboy told me it went crazy. I told me why I didn't even show to the own thing I started. It just be yo, man. I was taken back by how he told me how many folks showed up for real. I said all those people showed up. I was just talking in the group chat.
They were like, yeah.
They was with it. Like they was for real with it.
The energy in this state, especially in this part of the state, is 100% there for community, I should say, around a medium. Music, especially being like one of the mediums, is like you're gonna draw a crowd, especially in your area. We're not gonna I won't put you on blast. But all the same, where you are, there isn't a lot of that going on. So, and even if for the people who aren't necessarily in that area, the ones outside of it, they'll hear about it and just show the fuck up. So it doesn't even. That's
what he was telling me. He had brothers that came from North Carolina to come to the little thing. That I was like, that's wild. Mm-hmm. That's wild.
That's exactly.
But I know next time.
I encourage you to do in the same way that your friend has. Go out to the shits. Go out, get used to at least. You don't have to go out all the time, obviously. But when opportunities come knocking, obviously you take them. Otherwise, you wouldn't have done the battle. So I hope more of those opportunities, if you're not creating them, but you're seeking them, finding them, and are attending, because while you do not have rivals, and I don't think you will have the thought of people being rivals to you, it is always nice to know what the fuck is going on around the space. Because even people who don't hear it, for the people who don't get to hear you, I went to a beat battle a month ago, and I found this producer. I want all y'all to battle. Because he cold-blooded.
I do it. I don't even know if my beats are meant for battles, but I do it.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter if they're meant for battles or not. And that's the point of literally a lot of what we're talking about today. The fact that you're making music, it is a weapon that's worthy of being used.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like that is the art of battling with just beats. The beat battle is now more of a moniker than it is an actual practice. You could come. Who is it? Trap Kitty came. She brought her electric guitar, started playing some shit, plugged her guitar in, started playing the guitar, mixing the shit loud. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? This is perfect. This is exactly how it should be. Come ready to express, and it's be ready to compete with yourself and with your peers in a fun and unique and in a fun and unique way. All the same, it is going on 2 hours.
Yeah.
I do not want to keep you. It is getting late.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Right now, I'm not even gonna say unfortunately. They can find me at raw.sync.producer on Instagram. That's really where I'm stationed at, because that's where most of that target audience is really coming from. Mm-hmm. I'm not really into social media, but I'm trying my best to. I'm in the process of becoming more engaging. I'll hire somebody to operate that if I could, but Rawsync. I do got a website. I do need to work on that. I was gonna upload some beat packs and stuff where people can interact with some of my digital products. But that's, for right now, that's where they can find me.
Okay.
Raw.sync.producer.
Y'all heard it here first. I appreciate anyone that jumped back in or stuck around through the technical difficulty. I appreciate everyone that stuck around, and I appreciate you for coming to share your story. I encourage folks to adopt Tron's mentality. Let shit break. And if you don't let it break it.
Exactly.
Figure out how to put it back together, and as you're putting it back together, understand the pieces that you have so that you can start to put shit together yourself in your own way.
Yeah, your own way.
Because that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're taking what the masters have taught you, and you are adding your own style. You are innovating. It's like the essence of creating.
Yeah.
Because even the earth, the water reflects the sky.
Yeah.
That's why it's blue. You wouldn't think they're the same thing, but what are they both? Vast.
Yeah.
They have depth in their own ways. To me, for what I believe, even God innovated off his shit. He was like, yo, this shit cold. I'm gonna put that here, but I'm gonna do this a little different. So
that's what I'm saying though. The planet is like that. Seriously.
Straight up.
He didn't keep it the same energy all the way around.
See, you get it. You fucking get it.
Mm.
We're good here.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I never really did an interview. First time for everything.
How was it?
I don't know. I feel
you know how to say, yeah.
Yeah, it was straight though. It was most definitely. It's what I wanted it to be. If that makes sense.
No, that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
This is yours. This is your experience. It should be what you want it to be.
It's what I wanted it to be, and then maybe like down the line they go, oh, he real different in this interview.
They see you, but that comes with the growth.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm trying to say? So this is where I'm at now. This is how I want it to look. I am quiet. I am a little shy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where I wanted it to be. I'm not even finna come here and do nothing different outside of my life, bro. That was where I was at.
There are no facades here on GudGameTV. If you've never heard me tell somebody they whack, it's because I actually don't think they whack.